Hey guys, I've been slowly packing up some of my stuff. I've got another room to put the trains in. Don't have to deal with no bed or nothing like that in there. And I've been slowly picking up bits and pieces off the layout. Those of you who follow my page, you know that the roads were full of cars, and I still got to pick up some people and stuff. All my roads are empty, small cars are in bags and things like that, trucks, what have you. Wally and his friend Steve, along with Wally's family, are all sitting there in the intermodal yard waiting for the bus. Come and get them. You really never know how many trains you really have until you start packing them up and putting them back in their jewels and then putting them somewhere temporarily till you know what the hell you're going to do and store them. Just for shits and grins, I got this big old tote, and I figured, okay, I bought 4 totes. I figured 1 tote would be enough to hold all my damn trains. I can get a few more in there, but I still got a ton of trains to box up yet. This is what was on the layout. I got another yard over here almost full of cars. I still got a box up. And I got all that. And then I got my ACL, my Seaboard, the worms, most of the worms geared there, plus some of my collectors. It's things I haven't seen, I forgot I even have. Yeah. All honesty, I got cars that, I sit there and wonder, like, how the hell did I end up with some of this stuff? I got, you got your CSX cars, your CO stuff. I got all kinds of stuff. I even got 2 Coors cabooses. When N-Scale Enthusiast came out with them, I got 2 sets of Lionel Trains cabooses. Both number sets. So there's 2 complete 74 and number 75. 2 complete sets. Then I got some Coors cars also. I got all the intermodals. Well, not all the intermodals. I got the Coors, Coors Light, another Coors, but it's a red truck trailer. And I got a covered hopper. Then I've got all my worms gear, passenger cars. I'm going to put them in a separate box. All my worm stuff I'm going to put in a separate box that I know for a fact I'm keeping. Same with the CSX stuff. The stuff I know I'm keeping and I'm going to keep using, I'm going to keep out. Keep in a smaller box. That is a slap full. That is insane how much I have. And that is just chock full of freight cars, locomotives, you name it. I have not counted. I will not count. I do not want to know. I just know that I got a little of everything. Jesus. It's disgusting. I know there's guys out there with tens of thousands of cars. But, I'm one of those functional railroad guys. I only get what I need and what I got to put on the layout. Pretty much I got more than what I need to fill the layout up. Being that my next layout's going to be a tad bit smaller. Well, actually a lot smaller. Yeah. That line there is going to be gone completely. God, I wish I knew somebody that would really want this damn thing. Because I'm not going to reuse the track or nothing. I'm going to keep the DCC system. But the rest of it's got to go. Except for the buildings. I'm going to keep the buildings. Of course I'm going to keep my buildings. I just don't know how many of them I'm going to use right now and how many I'm not going to use. As my next layout, this section I'm keeping. This section of the layout I'm keeping intact. But as for the rest of it, it's got to go. But a lot of my wood structures, like my Redneck Paradise, my little fishing, my little bait shop, My barbecue joint and all that down there, I'm definitely keeping. Same with the station, and I'm going to reuse the station. I mean, pretty much I'm thinking when I build the new layout, I'm going to model this portion of the railroad, and then it go off into a hidden staging yard. And then, like I said, this will be my travel layout that I'll take to possibly train shows and stuff. My niece Brianna, the one that's moving in and taking this room, she is one of those starting to be a train nut. So, to make a long story short, she wants to go to train shows too and show the layout and stuff like that. So, it's a good uncle niece bonding time. My wife really can't, she really don't care too much about the trains. Although she has painted a few structures on here that I keep telling her she did a wonderful job. The Blue Moon Cafe with that cupcake, that is hand painted. That's not a decal. She did that. Yeah, my wife did that. That little decal on the cafe. It's kind of like a place where they cook and everything. A nice little cafe and stuff, an apartment building. But she painted that building. Let me get around to the other side of it. Maybe I can get a better picture of it. I put the Blue Moon Cafe sign on the front and stuff. That blinks and stuff. That's what's the name of the company? Micro Engineering or something like that. Oh, Miller Engineering. That's it. But either way, I haven't put interior on it, but she painted that building. Hand painted that. That's no airbrush or nothing like that. She hand painted that thing. I mean, literally, I don't know how she did it, but she did a good damn job of it. And and then she did the Nathan's Hot Dog building. I mean, she did a good job. I mean, I did the windows and stuff like that, and the curtains and the lighting and all that happy crap. But she did pretty much the front end of that. And then her other little crowning achievement right here is the Drunken Clam. She did that building. That's one of her paints. Yeah, I know. It's funny. You go through your family, you don't know who's talented, who's not. So my niece is really, actually I think the two girls are actually interested in the next layout we're building. So without showing that room's a mess right now too. But eventually I will show that room, what I got to work with and everything else. Footprints about 7 foot by 7 foot. Not very big. It's a lot smaller than this. This is sitting in a 12 by 9 foot room. That's the 12 foot wall. 9 foot wall, and another 9 foot wall. Like I said, this room was quite large for a model railroad. So, as you can see, I was able to pack a lot into it. Well, our next layout's going to be a lot smaller, and I can't have 2 towns on it and what have you. So I'm going to have to focus on one portion or another of the W.O.R.M. And I really would like to keep the CSX interaction with the regular railroad, with the Class 3 railroad. So, how that's going to happen, I'm not sure. I haven't even done up a track plan. I just know that I got a 7 foot by 7 foot area that I can work in and build something. I'm going to try to get away from these 11 and 9 and 11 inch radius curves as much as possible. Although functionally, they work great. I have not had a train derailment because of them. I've ran a 40-car train around that 11-inch radius curve and had no problems whatsoever. Pretty much all the curves over there are 15-inch radius curves right until you get about here. But like I said, on a 7 foot by 7 foot layout, 15-inch radius curves eats up a lot of real estate. So, and we want to try to keep that. I want to try to keep that type of yard right there intact, and interchange between CSX and the W.O.R.M. I think that would probably be the focal point of operations and everything else, and then everything else goes into a hidden staging yard, which I think I got an idea. I think that's the tabletop that I got planned might work. But I also, too, another thing I want to do is make the viewer's impression of the layout a little more convenient. I mean, really, when you walk into my room, you run into, which I'm surprised, even in a 9 by 12 room, I was able to keep a lot of floor space open with this. And I mean, really, theoretically, I got a lot of floor space that someone can actually walk in, several people can walk in here and look at the trains while an operator is operating. And even then, really not really much of an operation, because I got 3 loops of track. The W.O.R.M's got its own loop, that pretty much meanders all the way around. You can run 2 small trains on that with no problem. And then you got the CSX line, which is just a water wing design that comes out from behind the backdrop. And 2 mainline CSX or an Amtrak or whatever you want comes out of that. So I gotta somehow or another, I want to keep that incorporation of this section of the layout that I'm videotaping into the new layout. Which is not a problem, because if I ran it along the walls at a 7-foot by 7-foot area, that gives me a 14-foot running area. Basically, it would be like, a little bit smaller, but I could possibly wiggle it in. Keep it as either a 2 or a 3-track main line, which I'd probably keep it as a 2-track main line, being it's a smaller layout, a lot less layout. I'm sitting down, guys. My back's killing me. Pretty much I've determined that next time I do the sunset, I'm not going to have the foreground backdrop and then a backdrop to the backdrop. Where the track is behind the one backdrop, and then you got the sunset that comes up. Yeah, I'm going to do away with that. I think I'm going to do away with that. A little too busy, I can't reach back there. This is one of those things I want to correct too, is I want to be able to get back to the staging area and be able to clean track and work on track and maybe put on and take off trains while everybody's watching the main line. So that I got an idea how I want to do that in a 7-foot by 7-foot area. I just got to see if it's going to fit and work. And like I said, I ain't got to deal with a bed no more. So now I can do a little bit more with what I got. But at the same time, I want to be able to, because when people do come into this train room, they come in through one little door. They walk through a little narrow way. They come through here. Usually the cabinet, the Husky cabinet, is shoved up underneath the layout somewhere. And all my mess around here. I got so much to clean up and do. It's ridiculous. But my next layout, I'm not going to use Kato. Not that there's nothing wrong with Kato, but I need to be a little more flexible with my track plan. Kato's not going to give me that as much as I would like. I'm very familiar with Kato, and I know what it can do and what it can't do. And I mean, I got a butt ton of switches. I mean, if I really switched over and reused all this track, I mean, it wouldn't cost me hardly anything to build the next layout. But I found over a period of time with Kato that with expansion and contraction of the rail joints, without soldering them, eventually you have to go back and recrimp them all, get them back up tight against the rails to cut out dead joints and stuff like that. And put in a feeder on every single track would be a pain in the ass. So like I said, my next layout's going to be probably Payco switches with Atlas Flex. The Code 80 will be better for durability on the layout. I know, I'm just looking at that and going, wow. I can't believe I got that much. And look what it all is, too. Ain't any wonder why I'm broke. Jesus Christ. Yeah. I mean, a lot of my passenger car fleet is really awesome, and I got a lot of micro trains in that too. I got a few Concord, but I'm trying to get away from Concord as much as possible. Back on track though. Yeah, this section's going to be saved. That's going to be portable. It fits in the back of my Honda Civic perfectly. Just got to drop the back seats down and it fits in there perfectly. So I could actually physically go to almost any train show I want to go to after this. Once I get this separated from the rest of the layout, put the loop back in and around the way it was. If you go back a few videos, you'll see what my original layout was like. I mean, it wasn't bad. I mean, I really got a lot of operation out of this little piece of layout. It's actually quite fun to operate. And if you just want to sit back and watch the trains roll, you can. You know, you just got to change out the trains every now and then. It just, one day I just got the wild harebrained idea of expanding it, figured out how I was going to do it, and did it. Now when my niece is coming back, it's got to go back the way it was. Into what it's originally meant to be, which is the display layout, which is no big damn deal. So, again, we're not going to save the layout for say, but we're going to save this idea for say. You know, the interchange yard, CSX, W.O.R.M, main W.O.R.M terminal for the rail fan trips and the dinner trains and everything else. But I think I'm going to keep the roundy round so that when people come to visit my trains, I could do like I normally do. Set 3 to 4 trains loose and just sit back and let everybody ooh and ah over it. So, like I said, I'm videotaping this. I'm going to keep just basically how I'm backwards engineering this down so that those of you who are following that really like this track plan can actually follow how this was built, you know, and as it goes down and everything else, you know, and then the hidden staging yard underneath the buildings, that's pretty much going to go. Those buildings are probably not going to get used again. I don't know. I won't know for a while, but yeah, my cold storage, AC, and that little abandoned building over there on the end really are not going to get used again. Roadway more than likely, because I got to hide the backdrop, you know, trains going into the hidden staging yard. So I'm going to keep those overpasses. Those are a good way of hiding the back end. And I mean, really, when you settle down low, yeah, that works pretty good. So I learned a lot from this layout. I mean, its destruction is not going to go in vain. I wish I could have finished that lake, but I'm kind of glad I didn't, because that would have been expensive pour. I mean, the square inches of that lake is phenomenal. I'm going to try to have some kind of water feature on my next layout as well. Kind of like I did with the corner here. I'm going to have some kind of corner with a swamp in it. Of course, you know. Maybe not a murder scene going on, but, you know, someone trying to, you know, dump a body. You never know. I mean, I got mini prints on the, damn near on the payroll now. I mean, I got some herons coming in. Not herons, but sandhill cranes coming in for doing detail on this layout. But now that this layout's going away, I'm going to reuse a lot of the trees too, and a lot of the foliage and stuff. I'm even a hedge line there. I think I could break that apart too and reuse that. I really want to use that. I really want this station to be saved, but I'm going to have to redo it. But I remember how I did it, and I'll redo it again. Not a problem. Same with the people. They're all laying down. Get up, you lazy bastards. But, like I said, the next layout's going to be phenomenal. And like I said, I'm going to keep you in touch with the tear down of this layout as well, because those of you who really like this track plan, I want you to be able to, if you want to recreate it, you can. And those of you that like this section of the layout, you'll see this come back to the way it was. you know, well, it's almost done. All I gotta do is finish that hotel, and it really is done for me. It's basically show ready. And I can glue the buildings down, be done with it. Rewire up underneath it. Probably I'm gonna solidify the bottom of it, make it solid under there so that I could slide it around in the car and stuff like that. Put some handles on the side so I mean, me and Brianna could pick it up, take it into a show. Because it's only 26 inches wide by about 50 inches long. I mean, it is a tiny ass layout. But I think at a train show, I think people go stupid at it. And then being I can fit in my Honda Fit, I can go anywhere. Or not my Honda Fit, my Honda Civic hatchback. So it'll be able to go anywhere. But this section here, I want to try to reduplicate. Hence the reason why I keep panning over it to kind of get a memory of it and everything else. Crossover maybe on the new layout, I don't know yet. Well, it won't be a crossover because that'll end up being a staging yard, multiple track staging yard, multiple railroad staging yard. Now I'm hoping to have an operating pit of some sort, you know, just big enough for one person to sit back there and control the trains while everybody's watching it. But anyway, I'm just giving you guys a heads up. I'm not bragging or nothing, but that is a fuckload for me. I didn't think I had that much. I had more than that at one time, but I sold off a lot. But oh well. Either way, I hope this helps you guys a little bit. You know, those of you who are watching this video or need Dramamine to keep your head straight. Pretty much got an idea what the layout was, or that section. Like I said, I don't think I'll be able to add it to the next layout. I won't have the room for it. That in itself is its own switching layout. I was trying to think of a way. My niece was giving me an idea of saying, why don't you try saving that for a train show as well? And I said, we could. You know, we won't be using the... I mean, there's a way of doing it. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, I'm going to slowly take it down. I got a hurricane bearing down on us still. This is July 5th. You know, I was off from work. I was told to not come back in tomorrow, so I got more cleaning and changing time. So, I had to sit back down. My back's killing me. Yeah. Got a lot to do. A lot to take off and store temporarily until we figure out what we're going to do. I hate taking a layout down, but Jesus Christ, it's got to be done, so... Well, you guys have yourself a wonderful rest of the week if you haven't already been gone to work and everything else. I'll keep you up to date. You have a good time. Bye.